Welcome to Truth Tuesday, and the truth will set you free. This is a platform dedicated to teaching you the science and anatomy and physiology of how your body is functioning. Today, we're tackling high blood pressure, a condition that affects nearly half of all Americans. Now, it's not a disease, it's a message your body is trying to tell you. We're going to cover the science-backed research and things that you could do right now and understand what your body is trying to tell you. High blood pressure is a message of stress. We're going to cover the 5 keys to health on how you can understand how your body's responding to the environment. And then we're going to show you steps to take to get this corrected. Now, whether you're taking medications or trying to avoid taking medications, this message is for you. We're teaching decision making, okay, and awareness, not dogma. Let's get into this. Now, so let's look at the numbers. Okay, this is a high blood pressure epidemic. 47% of U.S. Americans are affected. Nearly half don't know it. 1 in 3 adults have a high blood pressure. According to the World Health Organization, over 1 billion people worldwide have it. Now, the annual cost in the U.S. is $131 billion. And this is supposed to be the number one risk for heart disease and stroke. And you're going to find out that it's not the disease, it's the body adapting to stress. It's the underlying cause of what the high blood pressure means, not itself. So what are the basics? Well, when you're looking at it, we have the output of the heart, which is called systolic. And then we have the resting pressure, which is called diastolic. And now, according to the American Heart Association, in 2024, 120/80 was the gold standard. Now, if it's elevated, 120 to 129 systolic, stage 1, 130 to 139 systolic, and stage 2 is greater than 140. Now, where did they get those numbers? So this is one number. Think of this. One number for everyone. That means the 400-pound cigar store owner and the 12-year-old gymnast. Okay, so where do they get the numbers? Well, there's a committee that meets every few years called the Joint National Committee. Now, let's go over the numbers, because 120/80 was actually Joint National Committee 6 in 1997, and they said everybody should be 120/80. Really, does that make sense? 120/80 all the time? What factors address that? So they rethought that in 2004 and said, well, everyone should be 115/75. So if you're slowing the blood pressure down or lowering the blood pressure down without addressing what caused the high blood pressure, does that positively or negatively affect your health? And we're going to get into that. Then in 2014, Joint National Committee 8 said, we're going to go to 140/90. And if you're over 60 years old, it's 150/90. So can you imagine the phone call? Oh, yeah, no, we just changed the blood pressure. No, it's no longer 115/75. Yeah, no, now you're no longer high blood pressure. Those phone calls were never made. No, your high blood pressure is not a disease. It's a message, okay? It's not a malfunction. It's your body doing everything it can to adapt. And this is the core philosophy. Now, first off, your body raises blood pressure to keep oxygen and nutrients flowing. Under stress, you remove the stress, the blood pressure normalizes. So first off, you only have 3 stressors: physical, chemical, and emotional. Now, once you identify those stress, bam, your body adapts. And it's going to constrict some blood vessels, dilate the others. So if you're running away from a tiger, those blood vessels are going to constrict to digestion and dilate or open up to the arms and legs. And this is absolutely a protective mechanism by your body based on its perception of the environment. And this is it. You have to look that high blood pressure is not a disease; it's a response. So, how does your body regulate blood pressure? Well, first, you have the trigger: physical, chemical, emotional stress. Immediately, this activates the hypothalamus. And this changes the hormonal level and the nervous system level. It flips on the fight or flight switch. Now, cortisol and adrenaline hormones flood the bloodstream to keep you alive under this stress. And that is going to elevate the heart rate. It is going to shut blood supply down to the gut. And so you get constriction of the blood vessels, which narrow, like putting your thumb over a hose, which is going to elevate blood pressure, or a real constriction, which shuts it down. And then the blood pressure rises. Now, this is in a short term adaptive, but if it happens long term, so remember, it's the long term stress, not the long term high blood pressure. That's the cause. Because short term, it's life saving, keeps you alive under stress. Long term, it literally can damage the system. And that's the key. Now, there's only 3 types of stressors that's going to affect blood pressure. Physical, and this is going to be poor posture, poor sitting, past injuries, trauma, lack of movement. Chemical stressors, and this is something we're all being affected by. Processed foods, toxic foods, chemically laden foods. Dehydration is huge, knowing that your body is 70% water, and environmental toxins. And then you have the emotional stressors. Chronic anxiety that puts you in a fight or flight state. Relationships conflicts, work pressure. All of these 3 have, your body has the same response to it. They all raise blood pressure. Now, let's look at the conventional approach. The conventional approach is to get the reading on the blood pressure machine, and then you go to the medications. Now, each one tries to lower those numbers. Remember, these aren't addressing the cause. Calcium channel blockers. Now, this blocks calcium from entering the heart and vessel muscles, relaxing them. Now, this widens the arteries. So you widen that space, the pressure is going to drop. Beta blockers. This blocks the sympathetic nerve supply to the heart. So it blocks the adrenal signals to the heart. So again, it slows the heart down. Does that make you healthier? Well, let's look at ACE inhibitors. This blocks angiotensin II, a hormone that constricts blood vessels. So this relaxes the arteries, okay, without addressing the cause. Diuretics. This makes the kidneys flush more fluid, more water, and more sodium. And this reduces the blood volume, working on the theory that you have an encased structure. So if you flush or get rid of some fluid, the pressure is going to reduce. Now, these medications can lower the blood pressure numbers, but they work by interrupting the body's normal signals. It's not addressing the cause. Now, if you look, why medications fall short, it's the high blood pressure is not the problem. It's what caused the blood pressure to elevate is the problem. The high blood pressure is a fire alarm. It tells you that there's some type of stress the body is trying to adapt to. The chronic stress is actually the fire. And find the fire, you fix the cause. You got to go after the cause, not medicate the symptoms. And it just doesn't make any sense. So the 5 keys to health, and we talk about this on every video. When your body has the right inputs, it heals itself. The 5 keys: remove the stress and restore function. So you've got the nervous system has one of the main keys, because this controls and coordinates every function of the body. And that nervous system only has 2 functions: stress response and regeneration, adaptive, sympathetic, parasympathetic. You've got to address the nervous system. Then nutrition, toxic food, foods that can damage tissue, or inflammatory foods, processed foods. This is all thickens the blood and damages the blood and stresses the system. Mindset. You can think yourself healthy and think yourself sick. If you are in a constant state, if you're feeding your mind, okay, with things that are going on in the world that upset you, bam, your body's going to respond correctly by elevating that blood pressure. And movement. Your body is designed to move. This is how your lymph system moves. It's the most important aspect of your body. Movement is a nutrient to the brain. But if you have a sedentary lifestyle where you're not moving, that is a significant stressor for your hunter-gatherer physiology. And hydration. How many people are drinking enough water? And healthy water, not water contaminated with chlorine and fluoride. and chemicals. Okay, so healthy amounts of water. Your body minimum is 70% water. So you have to look at it, and the blood's a higher percentage. You have to look at hydration. These, when you're addressing these 5 keys, your body can now adapt. So what can you do? What interventions can you do right now? Number 1, hydrate. Hydrate with healthy amounts of water. This is going to be good filtered, clean water, not chlorine or fluoridated water. And then walk 20 minutes outside. And if you're walking in through the nose, out through the mouth, and diaphragmatic breathing while you're walking symmetrically, one of the greatest things in the world to help your body detox and adapt to stress. And then eat more consistent with your physiology. You know, I tell everyone your diet should be like your great-great-grandmother. Healthy, organic, free range, no chemicals, no preservatives. And then if your great-grandma was eating stuff and it was preserved, it was fermented or sun-dried. So you're not getting these toxic preserving ingredients. And sleep is one of the most important nutrients of your body. Deep sleep every night. And this is why we have so many videos dedicated to it. 7 to 8.5 hours a night, and lights out by 10, because you are a species living in this planet. You interrupt sleep, and that is the most important regenerative aspect of your day. Your blood pressure is going to elevate. And then breathe. I always say 5 to 10 minutes every hour where you're deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, expanding that gut area, which helps the digestive tract, which helps neurotransmitter production, which calms the system down because you're breathing in oxygen and you're allowing your system to function correctly. Because if you've got good oxygen, then the blood doesn't have to raise because of the inefficiency. Now, we're going to dive into an area that we can't present, okay, on the standard. And we're going to go deeper. And this is something for a decade we've been censored, demonetized, shadow banned. I mean, it's we're doing everything. And please become a member at our Adaptive Physiology site. It helps us keep this information out there. It helps you spread it. This has got to be grassroots. And what we're going to be diving into now, the real dangers of calcium channel blockers and beta blockers, the real effects of these blood pressure drugs, how they deplete vital nutrients, actually how your central nervous system controls your system. The central nervous system controls and coordinates. Okay, we're going to look at the upper cervical, sympathetic and parasympathetic supply to the heart, vaccine injuries and cardiovascular harm, ACE inhibitors, big pharmas, the conflict of interest. The doctors are being paid to prescribe, not paid to change lifestyles, and how minerals and foods that truly lower your blood pressure so that you could adapt correctly. And we're also going to go through a 90-day transformation protocol. You could get all this by becoming a member and help supporting us at adaptivephysiology.com. Plus, sign up for a free membership. And you get the cause of true high blood pressure, understanding why your body raises the blood pressure, what you can do about it. It's a brilliant article. We are having a fantastic deal. And again, by supporting us, you're supporting our message. It's $7.50 a month, 75% off. It's about the cost of a cup of coffee in California. Please, and your support is super appreciated. And use the code New Deal, all caps, 1, New Deal 1, and get that 75% savings and help support us. God bless you. Stay healthy, my friends, and know your body was designed that its high blood pressure is an adaptive response, not a pathology. Okay, let's get into this now. Stay healthy, my friends.